Welcome back everyone, I am Deepak Punyal. Till now we have gone through the way function can be declared, defined and how one function can call another function. In previous tutorial we have seen that how a function call stack or program execution stack helps in managing function calling or returning from there. So here we are going to discuss the way parameter to a function can be passed. And in this tutorial we will be discussing two ways. One is call by value and another is call by reference. So in by call by value, the argument that we pass to a function, the copy of that argument is made. Copy of the argument is made and passed to the called function. And where that copy of argument is made, this is made on function call stack. So whatever changes are made, they are not reflected back in the original value. So let us discuss this example here. We have a function cube by value. We are trying to calculate a cube of a number and then seeing whether those changes are reflected in this variable or not. So I am passing a number which is copied to this n and then I am making changes to this n. So if these changes would have been reflected in this number would have been, which is 2 in the starting, it should have been 8 in the end of this process. But let us see whether it is 8 or 2. Let's compile program and then run it. So number before calculating cube is 2 and number after calculating cube is 2, where the value returned by the function is 8. So when this function is returning value, it is returning n, and which is 8, but this number is not 8. That means whatever changes have been made in this variable n are not reflected back here. So this call by value or pass by value is providing us a benefit or advantage, that it is providing us a security and no accidental modification will be allowed here, allowed in the data that has been passed. But there is some disadvantage to this also. And what is that disadvantage? When we are passing a large amount of data from here or from one function to another function, it could take a lot of time. So time and memory also, because this number is taking some bytes of memory in here we can say 4 bytes of memory in one function call, and this is taking another 4 byte of memory. So totally it is taking 8 bytes of memory, right? And there will be 2 entries in the memory for that or in the stack for that. So it will be taking some time to copy that variable and also extra memory to store that variable. So to overcome this thing, we have another technique, that is pass by reference or call by reference. What happens in this technique? Called function has access, or I can say called function can directly access the variables and modify them. So you can change it, we can make it call by reference and see what are the changes here. Call by reference, I have changed the function, but still there are something that I need to change in this function to make it call by reference. So how we can change the function and how we can show that parameter is passed by reference? We need to simply follow the parameter or in prototype we have to write int ampersand in place of int. Similarly here, when we are expecting that variable, or when we are trying to copy, or we are trying to refer that previous variable from where it has been called, we will write int ampersand n. In this way, this n is another name for this number, but this will be referring to same variable, and in this way all the changes that are made in this variable here will be reflected back. So all the changes will be reflected back in original one. But when all the changes are made and reflected back in the original one, there is a concern of security, right? This weakens the security. Security, as anyone can damage the data or corrupt the data and can make accidental modification in the data. Let us try to see this example by running it. So we can see that previously in call by value or pass by value, the value was 2 in the end, but here it is 8. So all the changes have been made. Right. There is one advantage of this calling technique, that it provides or it gives us high performance. And why it gives us so? Because it avoids the overhead. Copying large amount of data. So this gives us high performance, but still we have concern from these both the techniques. One is security and another one is overhead. So how we can overcome both the techniques, or how we can overcome both the things here? So what we can do, we can write const here. So we need to make changes in the function definition also. Now if we try to change this variable n, we will not be able to do so. So we are achieving this security thing because we will not be able to make changes, and we are also avoiding the overhead in copying the data. So let us try to compile the program and see. Assignment of read only reference n. So we cannot make any changes. What we can do, we can create a new variable, right? Like we can do m, and then we can assign n into this variable and make the changes. Let us suppose you are making changes in m and returning m. Now you would be able to do this successfully, and here it is. Now the value is same. So you have been restricted to make any changes in this variable, and you are able to achieve both the things what you need, security as well as avoiding the overhead. So I think it is clear from this tutorial how we can pass the variables. There is one more technique for passing call by reference, and that is using pointers, and that we are not going to discuss here, but we will surely discuss in coming lectures. Using pointers, there is something called by reference, or we sometimes we also say that it is called by address, because we pass the address of a variable. So I think it is sufficient for this lecture. If you have any doubt or query, you can mail me or write it in the comments. I will try to revert back. Thank you so much.